Let's start from the beginning. Okay, what you have to do first is, of course, right, the first step is do the sketch, right? You can sketch it on Illustrator, you can do the sketch on Procreate, or you can do the sketch by hand, right? And then after that, you refine all the characters. You might refine it in Illustrator and FONTLAB in case that you choose Illustrator. Okay, this is the workflow between Illustrator and FONTLAB, right? So you place all the glyphs separately in the artboard like this, right? Okay, and it depends how many characters you will design. Okay, so in this case, right, just go back and see the minimum character sets. It is the same as in Jensen's project, all right? So this is just lowercase characters here. It's just some example that I'm going to show you how to kind of like work across the platform and what you have to do in FONTLAB as well. Okay, like the kernings, the metric adjustment, and those kind of stuff. Okay, so don't forget about this when you're going to export it. I would recommend you to export it as EPS, alright? So oh sorry, you have to save as in this case, alright? Save as, and make sure you tick this box, use artboard. I might talk about this before, okay, but I would like to kind of like go over it again so that you don't feel confused or anything. Just tick it, okay, and then just hit save, all right, in the folder that you choose, all right. And after that just go to the the folder that you already export, right? And after that, just right now I already rename all the glyph here. Okay, make sure that the name of the EPS file here, okay, is the same as the name here in FONTLAB. Okay, so if you kind of like working on the lowercase a, for instance, make sure you give it the EPS file the same name here. So about other character like quotation marks or something like that, so make sure you give the same names here, okay. And then after that, you just drag and drop all the character that you save in this folder into FONTLAB, and that's it, okay. Another way to import the artwork here, you could do it one by one by just hit file here and then go to import and select artwork again, okay, file, import, okay, select the glyph that you want to kind of like import the artwork first, and then go to file, import here, and then go to artwork and select the EPS file that you want to import here, in case that you don't want to rename each of the glyphs, okay. But it depends, okay, what you like. Another problem that might occur to you is that sometimes in your FONTLAB, right, sometimes you can't see the name of the glyph. I mean, if you take a look at the the top of each of the glyph, you see that some kind of description or the name of each of the glyph, right? Like this one is 2 above here, so you know what to put in this glyph, right? So if you don't have it, okay, if you don't have it, just make sure you kind of like select this part. Just select it. If it's in none, as you might notice here, there's no name here, right? So go to that part, right? Go to that part here. It's in the same rows as fonts info here, okay. Go to none here and select name, okay. And you might choose Latin simple here. If you only chose like simple characters here, minimum characters that we need to design here, all right. So of course, another thing that you have to do is, after you drag and drop all the characters here, and another thing, okay, in case that there's still a problem, you can't import each of the glyph here by drag and drop or copy and paste from Illustrator to FONTLAB. Another way is just double click and go inside the glyph window here and choose file, import, okay, and import artwork. If you use Mac, you can use a shortcut as Command Alt Shift and D, okay. And if you use PC, just press Control Alt Alternative Shift and D here, and then go to the folder that you want to kind of like import the artwork. Okay, this is another way to fix the problem here. So next what you have to do is go to fonts info. Is here. It's a small icon here on the left side. Click it, right? And next, give the names of the fonts here. Okay, give the name here. Next is give the style to the to the fonts. And after you kind of like create the family names here, you can hit build name here, right? And after that, you go to family dimensions, right? Make sure that the units per M is 1000 UPM. That is pretty common, okay, when you design open types. However, you can increase or decrease this workspace as well, right? But I wouldn't recommend that. And then you can, give some numbers, okay, the distance of or the height of ascenders and descenders. But as you might notice here, the descender will have a minus values. And next is font dimension, okay. Here you can give, you can define the X height and cap height here. And next is, okay, let me check just a little bit. Unicode range, in case that you work on other characters or like Arabic, Thai or other thing. Just tick on it, just select it. All right, select it. Here we just work on basic Latin, right? Just select on it. But if you work on Thai, then you select it as well, right? And then you just go to overview to kind of like look into all the setting that you already create here, whether it's all right. Are there anything missing? And then if you're all right with everything, just hit apply, okay? And then hit OK. And next, okay, after you import all the characters by drag and drop all the EPS file here, okay, you might use, you might use the fonts audit here to kind of like adjust some of the character that might be a little bit, it might need some revision here when you export the file in EPS here, okay. What you have to do is you might want to check the whether the letter form is compatible with FONTLAB or not, because you work across the platform, right? Right now you import EPS file from AI to FONTLAB. Sometimes they might have something that you need to revive here. So there's an auto function here to check all the errors here. It's called fonts audit, right? You hit on it, okay, just choose it, and after that it will show all the problems that may need some adjustment here, right? Here's the thing, if you click on it, okay, it will ask you whether you want to fix every problem, okay. You can either just fix only some of the part automatically, or just select fix all here, okay. But however, it's not necessary to fix everything, okay, according to the fonts audit, all right. Some of the problem, something might not be a problem at all, all right. So fonts audit sometimes is pretty picky. Actually, you can go to the preference and change the setting of font audit as well. Okay, another thing is make sure that everything is simplified. Just go to select everything, okay, in case that you want to use automatic functions here. There's many functions here, okay. In contour, you might simplify the letter forms, okay, and it will make your character more simplified, or you might make it more harmonious or just more balanced here. But of course it will change your characters or letter form as well, so be careful about using the function, right? So next what you have to do is do the metric, okay, do the adjustment of the tracking or the space between the character. You can go one by one, okay, by just double click on the grid window of each of the character and adjust the right side bearing here, right? But however, it might take forever to finish everything, right? And another thing, make sure that all the character is sit on the baseline here. And if you look into the guideline on the left here, you will see B as baseline here, right? It's at 0. Make sure that the body of the characters, all right, sit here, right? And then this X is X height, and then the A is ascender height, okay, and the C is cap height. But since this is a small character here, so anyhow, just check it first, okay? You can adjust the right side bearing individually like this, okay? Make sure that space between the character and the left and the right side bearing here, alright? And after this, okay, you could also select all the characters, like, you know, all the lowercase characters, and go to Windows, go to New Matrix, okay? Go to Window, go to New Matrix here, Window, New Matrix, okay? It will open up the matrix of each of the character. Here, you can adjust all the side bearing of each of the character by just move it like this, alright? You can do it manually like this. Make sure all the character is in between the side bearing of each grip, alright? There's no overlaps part or anything. Adjust it so it can be quite pretty quick to do this. Otherwise, you have to go one by one, right? Adjust it. And then you do the kerning later, right? But make sure that you know, you adjust all the side bearing, make it appropriate first, and then after that, you know, adjust the kerning later. Okay, maybe it needs a little bit adjustment. Or another way to adjust it, can you see the box down here, like a table down here, right? At the bottom, there's a matrix, you know, matrix table here, which you can adjust. Basically, you can adjust the side bearing distance and the left side bearing distance, okay? The second row, the first row is the name of the character, right? Second is the width of that grip, all right? And the third row is the values between the character to the left side bearing, and the fourth one, right, is the distance between the characters to the right side bearing. And what is AV here is the kerning. But if we haven't, you kind of like, oh, right now we can also, you know, put some number here to kern some of the character as well, okay, in this mode as well, right? Or you can also, you know, open the kerning panel to adjust all the characters, okay? Now we already do all the, you know, the trackings. So next, let's go to kerning, okay? Go to Window here, go to Window, New Kerning tabs here, all right? And next, you might notice that some of the character have, like, you know, they might need some adjustment between the character here, okay? If you type it, okay, there's a lot of space between the character here, right? You can either do the same thing, is, you know, just put some number in the AV functions here, and it will change the distance, okay? Like, for instance, minus 50, for instance, okay? It will come like change the distance between the character A and B. Sorry for that. You might notice that the you know, the distance between A and B kind of change. Okay, make sure you don't kind of like adjust the side bearing. All right, this is the kerning. It's different function, right? And what about B and C here? Okay, another thing you could do is, okay, you can kind of like type of the character here that you kind of like want to kern, like SE, AB or something like this, okay? And you kind of like adjust, you know, the kerning of the character. Or another thing is, what you could do is go to just a moment, Windows, alright, and then go to Panel, and then select pair and phrases here to come. It's just a test word, right? It's just a test word. You can test the word here. There's pretty common word here. Select on it, okay? You will see the distance between the characters. Just adjust the distance like this, okay? Just adjust this kind of like this manually, or you can kind of like put some number down there in the AV rows. All right, select it like this. Okay, I will do it quickly. However, you know, when you export the fonts, okay, as OTF, okay, some of the character might not be perfect. All right, some of the kerning or tracking might not be perfect. That need to be adjusted in Python, okay, or the programming. So what I'm looking for in this project is your foundation and the foundations of understanding, all right, about type designs, and I will look into the designs of your typeface consistencies. So don't worry too much about the kerning, okay, but make sure you understand about, you know, how to do the kerning, how to adjust the side bearing here. Okay, so this is how to do you know, the kerning. Next, how to include some kind of like alternate character like this and ligatures. Okay, so just what we have to do is, of course, if we want to do alternate grip like this, okay, alternate grip, what is it exactly? Alternate grip is, it's like if you want to create variation of each of the characters here, right, you can come up with different designs, and you know, the user have the choice to choose which one they like, okay, in the open type features here. So just select the character that you like to create some kind of like variations, okay, you select it and go to graph here and duplicate it, okay, go to duplicate graph here, and it will, this window will pop up, okay. There's many functions, it's just a name, right, just to make sure that you know, you understand what it is, okay. What is swatch exactly? It's B swatch. Swatch is tails of the queue here. It's not correct, so you know, we're not going to use this one. Okay, go to this one and duplicate GIF again. Oh, sorry, I select the wrong one. Okay, GIF, duplicate GIF, right? And if you select ALT, okay, ALT, or if you just roll over each of the names here, the dots and the names here, it will have like, you know, the full name of the abbreviation here. So usually, okay, we just use alternative form, okay, or .atl. Why we have to name it like this? You know, here's the thing, like I said before, right? After you do all the character, import all the character, adjust the kerning, another thing that you know, might make your typeface become better, especially with the kernings and you know, how it kind of like show up in the open type features, right, is to kind of like writing a Python programming language, right? So this kind of dot and name, right, we give the programmer more understanding about the type of the graph that it actually is, okay. If it's alternative graph, then they knows, right, it's .alt, it's simple, okay, just select it. And right now you have b.alt here, which is a new graph for your character. If you already designed the alternate character in Illustrator, you can import it directly here by just file import, right, and go to artwork here, or you could make an adjustment, you know, it depends on you, okay, make an adjustment, whatever it is, depend on you, right? So anyhow, this how to create ALT characters, right? And what about FI, FL, or ligatures, okay? Just go to fonts here. Go to fonts, right? And select new graph here. And the next thing that you have to do is give a new name to the ligatures graph, okay? If it is a combination between, of course, ligature is a combination between two characters, right? Just select the first character that you're going to create, and then press underscore here and select another character like Y, for instance, okay, and hit create. Okay, again, just type the first character that you're going to create ligatures, and then type underscore, and then the second character after the underscore, okay, and hit create it. Next thing you have to do is decompose the character first. Okay, so we're going to like break it apart. Okay, select all the characters here in the ligatures, right? Select it, go to graph. Here, there's a command called decompose here. Graph, decompose, right? It's going to change the outline of the character as well, alright? And then we kind of like, you know, able to kind of like adjust all the character. Otherwise, it will give the reference to the main character that we created. We could either, you know, move it around. You could move it around like this, okay? But as you can see, there's another character behind that. That is the main characters, right? You can delete that one, right? Just delete it, the one down here. Okay, you might join some of the character here together. It depends on you, okay? It might take some time, okay, to kind of like adjust the character here. Okay, just adjust the Bezier curve, something like this. And then after this, you might want to kind of like remove overlaps, okay? Go to contours here and remove overlaps, okay? You kind of like going to, but as you might notice here, there's some errors going on here, right? So you might need to fix it. Oh, there's a lot of errors here. See? So we're going to remove it. Then we click it and click it. Okay, just pick all. Just make sure you kind of like you know, fix the thing that's necessary. Right click it, okay. Delete knot. That is another thing you could do about it. Delete some knots. Yeah, so now it's better. So this is my horrible ligatures, okay? So next what you have to do is you have to kind of like link this kind of like alternate glyph as well as the ligatures here, right, into your fonts, into the open type features. So how to do that? Just go to tools here, okay? On the left you see the tools bar here, right? If you can't find it, just go to window and make sure tools bar is open, right? So do you see the T characters here, right, or the text here? Hit on it, right? Just hit on it and it will open up a test window, right? So you might not find the features, right, or the alternate glyph features here, okay? Just select contents sidebar here. Select it, right? Now if we open all the features and all the characters that you create in alternate glyph as well as here, see? So let's type those characters that you create, you know, the glyph. Let's like FI here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to like zoom out. Okay, like FL here. Sometimes if you don't check this box, right, or ligatures, what is it exactly? So ligature is like you know, ligatures, right? It's an abbreviation of ligatures. Make sure you tick it, right? Make sure you tick it, right? These three functions, okay, is on, right? If it's not on, then you know it's not going to work here. And then go to here, all right? Okay, after you have like finished with all you know, the designs here, you already adjust the tracking as well as the kernings, right? You already you know, put the alternate glyph and the ligatures here as well. You already link everything. If you just pretend that this is finished, right? This is just example. Anyhow, just make sure you save your fonts first, right? Just go to file and save font as, okay? That is the first thing that you should do is .bfc. I want to see this file as well, right? You have also need to submit it as well, right? And next, just go to file and then go to export font as, right? In these functions, right, you can choose the file that you want to export, like OpenType, you know, TG or OpenType PS, right? It can be either TTF or OTF, right? OTF is a newer version of OpenType features, right? So I'm going to use OTF here, right? And you hit export and choose the folder that you want to export the fonts here, export it, and that's it, okay? It will generate the fonts for you here. They might have some warning here because there's some, you know, the problem. But anyhow, it's done. I save it here, right? It will create like a folder for me, right? When I double click on it, then that's going to have like a OpenType file for me here, which there's a SVG that is not what we're going to use, okay? We're going to use this one or OpenType. You can like double click it, okay, and install it into your you know, computer and use it later. And I haven't, you know, really looked into kerning. They might have something strange here, but this is how you can do a very quick fonts on FONTLAB and Illustrator, right? This is just a quick tutorial, so I'm not aiming to make like incredible fonts here. Okay, I hope this helped, alright?